Hi everyone, it's Kelly here. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome back if you've been before. Lovely to have you either way. On this channel we talk books, and today I am recording a book tag video that I've never done before. I've never done this tag before. I was feeling in the mood to do a sort of quarter year check-in, and when I went looking to see if someone had already created a tag doing exactly this, I found one, and this is the Quarter Year Crisis book tag video, and it was originally done and created by Roisin's Reading. I will link her channel down below and link you to her original video where she created the tag back in 2022. So very excited to be bringing this video to you today and to be sharing how I'm going with my reading a quarter of the way in. I'm recording this sort of towards the end of March, so there will still be a little bit more reading in this quarter, probably. I've got a few books on the go. So yeah, I hopefully will be finishing at least one more book before the end of the month. But I have been doing pretty well this quarter, I think, both in terms of just my overall number of books that I've read and also in terms of how I'm going towards my sort of longer term projects as well. Okay, let's get straight into it. Question number one, how many books have you read so far this year? The answer to that is 17. Now, I set a goal every year of reading 52 books. I have exceeded it pretty much every year for the last couple of years. So 17 books is beyond where I need to be reaching that goal. But it's something that I don't like to put a lot of pressure on myself to do. Once upon a time, I used to change my goal after I got there, and then I'd extend it and extend it. But I don't do that anymore. I just leave it at 52. And if I exceed that, that's great. So yeah, I'm doing really well towards getting towards that goal. Basically, that means I'm reading about a book a week. But in this case, I've read more than a book a week, which is even better. I usually also start the year pretty strong because January is our summer holidays here in Australia. So I do a fair amount of reading while I'm away. I've got another holiday booked in April, so hopefully I'll be getting more reading done then to going towards my next quarter. So exciting times. I'm doing well with my number of books read so far this year. Question number two, have you already found a book you think might be a 2024 favourite? I have so far this year had 3 books that have been 5-star reads for me. They are A Month in the Country by J.L. Carr, which is a classic, very, very tiny, and it was originally recommended to me by Cafe au Livre on his channel, and I could not agree more. This is a fantastic book. I really, really loved it. Another one is Perilous Times by Thomas D. Lee. Really enjoyed this book. 5 stars from me. So good, and far exceeded my expectations for what this book was going to be. I thought I was going to enjoy it. I didn't realize how much I was going to enjoy it. So it was really, really good. And the third one, I don't have a copy with me at the moment because I've loaned it to my brother, and that is The Year I Met My Brain by Matilda Boseley. And that is a book all about ADHD, and it is fantastic, absolutely brilliant. And I think 2 out of those 3 I read in January, maybe even 3 out of those 3. You'll see. I will have linked up above in the cards to the videos where I reviewed those books if you want to hear more about them. Okay, so then question number 3, any 1-star books, or failing that, which I don't have any 1-star books, least favourite book of the year so far. So there is one book that I have rated 2 stars, and that is The Railway by Hamid Ismailov. I'll link up above in the cards to where I reviewed this book, but it was just a bit all over the place for me. Really kind of hard to follow the gigantic cast of characters, and it just didn't work for me. It's a translated book, but I think the translator did a good job. So I don't actually think it's the fault of the translator. I think it's just that the way that this book is written, although there are some poetic parts of the book, just didn't quite work for me. So that's my least favourite book so far that I've read this year. Number 4. Most read genre so far. Now, I could have guessed this. This was my guess before I looked it up on the story graph, but it is literary fiction, surprise, surprise. And in terms of what's tagged there as literary fiction, I have read 6 books. 6 of the 17 books I've read have been literary fiction. Memoir is surprisingly high. I have read 4 memoirs so far this year, which is really interesting because a couple of years ago it was a genre that I didn't read very much of at all, but I have really been enjoying reading memoirs. One of those memoirs was a book that is part of the Stella Prize longlist called Graft, which I also really enjoyed. So yeah, I'm reading a few more that are to do with the prizes that I've been doing a bit of reading from, and there'll probably be a few more coming up soon. But yeah, literary fiction is number 1, but surprisingly memoir is up quite high. The other genre that was up quite high was historical, and some of that was historical fiction and some historical non-fiction. So very interesting to see how things are kind of playing out, but very unsurprising that literary fiction came out on top. Number 5, a book that surprised you. Now, this was a not good surprise. not a, oh, that's great, surprisingly good. It was a, oh, that's surprising in terms of the way that this book approached the content. It wasn't what I was expecting, and not in a good way, if that makes sense. And that book was Another Day in the Colony by Chelsea Watego, a book I read back in January. Yeah, I was just really surprised at some of the takes that the author had on certain aspects of the topic. So this is a book looking at Aboriginal Australian history and sort of looking at the ways in which Aboriginal people and the invading British kind of interacted in the early days, but also how that is kind of perpetuated in today's society as well. You know, and hence Another Day in the Colony. You know, this is still the colony. This is still me experiencing racism, not me. Me as in the author. But there were aspects of this book that I really, really liked, and I 100% agreed with her take on. And then there were just a few things in there that just really surprised me in terms of the way that she dealt with them and her opinion about those topics, which I went into a lot more detail in my review. So if you go back to my January wrap-up, you can hear more about it then. Okay, number 6, a book that has come out in 2024 already that you want to read but haven't yet. Now, there could be a few of the prize long-listed books that have come out in 2024. I know particularly, I'm pretty sure that the Booker Prize and maybe even the Women's Prize, their deadlines include up to sort of when the long list is announced, and sometimes it even carries over. So there's a chance that one of the books that I want to read from the long list is a 2024 book. I didn't really look into that because I have purchased one book that has been published this year that I was very excited about, and that's this one, Hard by a Great Forest by Leo Vardiashvili. I hope I've said that correctly. So this one was flagged by Scott at Gunpowder Fiction and Plot when he was flagging books that were going to be released in 2024. I got excited about it and I bought it. Literally yesterday I watched his video where he reviewed this book and he did not like it. So I don't know if I'm also not going to like it, but I'm still kind of excited for it. I was definitely excited enough to buy it. So here it is. So we'll see. We'll see when I get to it if I feel the same way that Scott does. Okay, next question. One goal you made that you're succeeding at. Okay, so I do sort of have broad goals. My goals are more like projects, I guess. So things that I'm working towards reading a complete set of, or, you know, that sort of thing. So I've got my 24 in 24 challenge that I've set for myself, where I picked out 24 books that I want to read in 2024. So far, I've read 4 out of those, which is not quite where I need to be at the quarter of the way through the year in order to get all of these done. But we are sort of taking a bit of a pause at the moment to be reading some books from the prize long lists that have just come out. So there is that. And I will get back to reading from that list for sure. Also for my Sirens reading challenge, which I will link down in the description below. I link it in all of my videos, so if you want to join us, it's not too late. There's only 8 prompts. So I have been so excited about this challenge, and I'm where I should be at this point of the year in terms of getting enough of the prompts done to get it done by the end of the year. So I'm at 2 out of 8 prompts. I am planning on reading, I don't know if I'm going to read the whole of the Stella Prize long list, but I want to read a fair amount of it, and I'm really excited about a fair amount of the books that have been long listed for that. I've read 2 out of 12 so far. So again, I want to kind of get a bit further along with those, but I'm happy with where I'm up to with those, and I've got another one on the go at the moment. I'm about halfway through, so yeah, hopefully I'll be getting a few more of those done before the shortlist gets announced. But just in terms of like a more general goal, something that I don't think I've ever written down anywhere or articulated to anyone in particular, but I always have too many books on the go. That's something that I've been kind of, I've always got a lot of books sitting in my currently reading on the story graph. And this year I just pushed through and I've been reading the books that I wanted to get off that have been hanging over my head for too long. So I've read maybe 3 books out that have been on my kind of long-term currently reading. I also DNF'd a bunch of them. So yeah, I've sort of been a bit more decisive about continuing with books or not. And also I have been kind of pushing through and making myself do that reading. Everything's kind of on hold at the minute for the prize reading, as I said before. So that's kind of, you know, we're on pause for that goal, I guess. But not having too many books on the go is something I'm doing really well at. I am succeeding. Okay, number 8. One goal you made that you need to focus on. So all of those things that I've just mentioned, reading the Stella long list, doing my 24 and 24 books, Sirens reading challenge, I definitely need to focus on those and make sure that I'm kind of moving along so that I can get to where I want to be at the end of the year. Another goal that I always set for myself, just quietly, I don't talk about it too much on this channel, is trying to read through my ebooks, because I have a lot. I have hundreds of ebooks sitting on my e-reader, and I don't read them because I don't visually see them on my shelf, so I kind of forget they exist. So I do have a goal to try and read at least 10 every year, and try not to add too many to the TBR. But I'm a sucker for a bargain, so if I see something on sale and I'm vaguely interested in it, I probably will buy it. So I need to kind of not do that so much, and also need to kind of keep reading, keep reading the books. And so far I've read 2 ebooks this year so they're off my TBR, my digital TBR, which is good. Okay, last question. New to you booktubers that you would recommend. Now I've decided there's heaps of booktubers that I would 100% recommend, and I do talk about some of them semi-regularly on this channel, but I decided to just tell you the 2 most recent booktubers that I have subscribed to. So the first being the person I mentioned at the beginning of this video, that is Roisin's reading channel, who is the creator of this tag. Literally just discovered her channel today in finding this tag, so thank you very much. Glad to have another person on my subscription list that I can go through now and kind of watch some of her backlist videos and also her more recent ones. But at the moment I've only watched her first go at this channel, this tag. But anyway, I'm excited to now be a subscriber to Rasheen's Reading. And the other person that I just subscribed to literally today as well is the Mild Rumpus, and that is because he commented on one of my videos, and I went and had a look at his channel, and I'm now a subscriber. So excited to have those two new booktubers in my subscription feed so that I can go and have a look at some more of their videos. So I will link both of them down below. Now, I don't normally tag people for doing a tag when I do a tag. Very rarely do I do tags on this channel, but normally I just say it's open to anyone, and it is open to anyone. Nobody tagged me to do this video. I just found it and I decided to tag myself. But I am going to tag some people today. So I'm going to tag Elizabeth Morgan, My Reading Life, and Teacup the Storyteller to do this video. Elizabeth because she's my booktube bestie, and I would love to see her do this video and have her reflections on how she's been going so far this year. My Reading Life, I've seen Heidi do a bunch of tag videos in the past, but I haven't seen one for a while, so it would be awesome to see, you know, where she's feeling like she's up to a quarter of the year way in. And Teacup the Storyteller, who I did a buddy read with last year, of the Alan Rickman diaries, which we haven't had much chatter since then. So I would love to hear from her, and also she hasn't done a video for a couple of months, so I would love to see how she's going. So hopefully those people will do this video and you can go and watch theirs as well, but I will tag all of them down below as well if you'd like to go and check out their channels. Alright everyone, thanks so much for watching, and I would love to hear your thoughts on the books that I've been reflecting on, but also if you do this video, please tell me down below so that I can go and watch it. I would love to see some more tag videos. I haven't done a tag kind of marathon, a tagathon for a while, but I always love kind of looking at these check-in ones. I'll be doing it at the half-year point as well, when we all are telling everybody about how we've been going. So yeah, would love to see your video if you decide to do this tag as well. Alright, thanks for watching guys, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye!